Okay, CRAVE has added a very special addition, the Nutty Putty Cave, which you can unlock after doing the first sort of mission. And it's, I think you can unlock it when you get tourist mode. And you can see here they got a nice map of it. This is my first time in here, so this is kind of cool. And it is a cave that is closed now. I would point that out. This is no longer open after John Jones' death, untimely death in 2009 in this very cave. And I believe they have the area where he died marked out. And the narration is done by Brandon, I think it's Koalas. I think that's his name. He was actually involved with the rescue and was with John Jones when he died. He was right there at the end, deep down in this cave, and risked his own life to get down there and try to save him. So you can see there's two parts to this cave. One is called the maze. You can see it right here. Yeah, this whole section here. And then there's this other section here. This is considered sort of the beginner's area. Down in these areas, it's considered, I don't know if we'd call it expert, but advanced. I'm not a professional spelunker. I've never done it. But that's, when I saw the documentaries on this, that was my understanding. This area over here on the right is where John Jones met his untimely death. Now, he thought he was coming down this area called the birth canal. Right here, you can see it, the birth canal right there. He thought he was coming here. In fact, he had taken an uncharted area over here. And so that's always one of the most dangerous things when you're spelunking. You think you're in an area and you're not there, and all of a sudden things can go bad very quickly. So we're going to explore the maze first, and then we're going to explore where this more expert area. Now, this was considered for many years kind of a beginner's cave, but it was misleading. Many experts said it was very dangerous. It was slippery in there, and also there were tight spaces down here. So if you got down here, and there wasn't a year that went by where somebody had to be rescued. So I'm sure the people doing all these cave rescues were obviously upset horribly at the tragedy, but they probably were, some good came out of it. And the fact is that it was,
as you already know, Nutty Putty Cave is
so no one else could
located
get
west
injured
of
here.
Utah Lake in Utah County, United States. Despite its big reputation, the cave isn't actually that large. The total mapped length is about 1,355 to 1,400 feet, with a depth of roughly 145 feet. From this point, the cave splits into two routes. We can head left to enter the maze, or go right toward the famous Big Slide. For the full experience, I recommend starting on the left. Let's go there now.
So yeah, this is, I think I'm doing this right. So
Look at your watch. The percentage shows how much of the cave you've already explored. Remember, you can rewind or pause the audio guide at any time using the tablet or the menu, which opens by pressing and holding the right stick. Hold it now and try adjusting the audio by touching the on-screen icons.
we're not going to do that. I kind of have an idea. Like I said, I've seen several documentaries on this, so I'm already well aware of the maze and kind of where we're at. So yeah, this is the maze. This is considered the easier part for sure. But there were still people that would get stuck up in here. So what I'm going to do is click on these tapes and we'll let Brandon talk. And then when he's not talking, I'll talk.
Here we are. This section of the passage is called the maze, and you'll soon see why. Sculpted by hot water in some unusual forms, it's given many adventurers their first taste of getting lost here. You see, Nutty Putty is a hydrothermal cave. Instead of being carved by rainwater seeping down, it formed through hydrothermal activity. Its origin is also hypogenic, meaning superheated, mineral-rich water rose from below and dissolved the rock from the inside out. Quite unusual compared to most limestone caves. Take a look and let's proceed further to the big room.
And we're in the big room now. Obviously, you could easily stand up in here. Let's do that. I think we were... Yeah, there we go. So we're now standing up. But let's hear this now. Let's hear
Welcome
Brandon
to
has
the
to say.
big room. Compared to most cave sections, it feels open, tall, and almost comfortable. Many cavers pause here to catch their breath before moving on, so stay a while and listen. The cave was discovered in 1960 by a teenage caver named Dale Green, who went on to explore and document many caves in Utah. It's said Dale Green originally thought of calling it Silly Putty, but later decided Nutty Putty sounded better. Can't argue here. The cave takes its name from its soft clay-like texture made of silicon dioxide, the same mineral found in sand. As it formed upward through superheated water depositing calcite, other minerals were also left behind, creating a complex structure. That's why many passages are wet and filled with sticky clay. The Helmet Eater. Why the name? Nutty Putty Cave became a favorite training ground for Boy Scouts, adventure groups, and college students, many of whom had their helmets bitten by its tight passages. The narrow, twisting tunnels offered just enough challenge that countless adventurers, including teens and scouts, squeezed in only to get stuck for hours, sometimes overnight, before being rescued. Thanks to its nearby location and the novelty of caving, it also earned a quirky reputation as a local date cave, where students would bring partners for a rugged outing. It's definitely harder to escape your date here. Well, all in all, these stories contributed to the cave's reputation as both an adventurous and somewhat hazardous place.
I think this is it. This is called the crack right here. We didn't need to listen to that audio tape, but that's what that's called. This right here, this area. And so we'll make our way all the way back up. Now, boy, you get a lot of exercise doing this. I can't imagine doing this in real life. But this game is so awesome. This is one of my favorite games, and this is really sort of the power that VR is going to be introducing over the next 10 to 15 years, doing things that, I've always wanted to spelunk, but there's no way. I mean, I did actually go in a cave when I was much younger, and the first belly crawl, I couldn't do it. I actually stopped right there. There was no way. And it was sort of it would have been a total beginner's cave, but they had this huge, big room, and then it just dropped right down to a couple feet. And I mean, I was small then. I was probably only 5'4" or something. I was very young, and I just said, no way, I'm not doing a belly crawl. And a lot of other people stopped too. So, but this really, and I'm claustrophobic, so this really sort of solves that problem. I think we can just stand now and walk. Yeah. So let's do that. So this game was on my wish list, and I'm glad that I got it. So it's really cool to be exploring this very, very famous, now closed, sort of closed cave. Well, not sort of. It is close. Okay, so we're in the maze. We're getting close to the top now. Okay, now I'm a little bit lost. So I think we have to go left here, and then we'll find the big slide. That might be it. I'm not sure. Hold on. Okay, so I'm a bit lost. Let's see. I think this is the slide. Over to the right here. I probably should have used those tablets. Because now I feel like I am, in fact, lost. We're going somewhere. And that is the thing with spelunking. Sometimes you just got to keep moving. I think we're getting close here. Where are we? It's got to be... What is this? This has to be... Okay, we're at the entrance. All right, so we're back up here. And now... Where do we go? We go over here? I think this takes us to the big slide. Is this the big slide? Yes, here we are. So this is big slide. Let's let Brandon talk, and I'll just go all the way down. It's really cool.
Feel like sliding? You're not alone. At the height of its popularity, the cave drew more than 5,000 visitors a year. So much traffic wore the rock smooth, and experts warned that a fatal accident was only a matter of time in one of its main features, a long 45-degree chamber known as the Big Slide, where we are right now. Those safety concerns, along with the growing damage caused by constant use, led to the cave's temporary closure in 2006. They're also the reason for the ladder you'll find at the end of this section. Be careful on your way down. You don't want to meet your end here, especially in a place meant for a very different kind of rebirth we'll soon discover.
So this is the exact place, where John Jones would have come. I don't know if he explored the maze. I doubt it. I think he just came this way. He might have. I'm not sure. I'll have to read up on that. But nonetheless, this is his final route. Oh, we've got a belly crawl here. Let's get through there. Okay. And I believe we go right here, and we're on our way now to, if I'm right here, I think the birth canal is up here. We've actually got almost half of this explored. I'm assuming if we went left there, we would get 100%. I don't know what that might have been another little chamber area. I think this leads up to the very famous birth canal. And this is it right here, yes. So on the right is the birth canal. On the left is where John Jones, did I say John James before? John Jones would have made his fateful wrong maneuver. He thought he was going in the birth canal, which is that way. He went left. And that's where he ran into all kinds of problems. Let's listen to what Brandon has to say.
The corridor to the left leads to Ed's Push and the story of what happened there. The corridor to the right takes you to the threshold of one of the cave's most famous sections. Its name speaks for itself and has long been a magnet for many spelunkers who came here straight from the entrance. I believe there's little point in describing it further. This is something you'll simply have to experience. See you on the other side.
I'm about to pass out here. This is really tight. I'm getting back here. Wow. Okay, let's try this. I'm actually worn out. Okay, let's try this again. This is really, I don't know how anybody could do this. Okay. Oh my gosh. I can't grip. Okay, there we go. I'm going to pass out here. If we get in. Okay. Whew. All right. Okay, some pitons there. So we came this way. And definitely some stuff to explore here. We can actually stand up, which is cool. Nothing really up here. Another stone. Okay. And there's some pitons here. Oh. What is this?
Even before Jones's death and the permanent closure of the cave, there were many cases of people getting lost here, with Boy Scouts being perhaps the most frequently rescued group over the years. Some veterans recall that the early explorations were much more wild, muddy, improvised, and with little preparation. In later years, rules, managed access, and safety protocols were introduced to prevent accidents and protect the cave from littering. Tired and panicked visitors had sometimes abandoned helmets, clothing, dead batteries, and other items, things that not only spoiled the sense of exploration, but in the dark, wet passages could cause dangerous accidents. The guiding rule in Nutty Putty was simple. Never squeeze into a place you might not be able to get back out of. Here, you can squeeze through anywhere. If you feel stuck, try moving your head in line with your hands to push forward or back out.
Okay, that aorta canal. Now I know why they call that the aorta canal. This is about as tight as it gets. I'm going to pass out. Oh my gosh. I'm on. Oh, it's insane. I don't know how anybody could do this. Oh my gosh. I'm going to pass out. There's no way. I'm passing out. Oh, can we make it? Just made it to the vein alley. Okay. Oh my gosh.
We're now traveling through Vein Alley, another biologically named section of the cave. Names like this, as well as the aorta crawl and the birth canal, are not merely metaphors for the vein-like network of winding passages. They also reflect the cave's unique ecosystem, which hosts an endemic fauna. Various insects and bats have specifically adapted to survive in these dark, narrow chambers, making Nutty Putty not only a remarkable geologic formation, but also a site of considerable biological interest. The alley has several branches. If you want to achieve a 100% exploration rating of the cave, try to visit them all. The Vein Alley marks the end of the right route through the cave. So when you feel you've had enough, you can make your way back to the entrance.
Okay, that was absolutely insane. That was the most insane part of this game so far. I have no idea why anybody would try to go through that. That is like the worst belly crawl in this game so far. All right, so maybe it's easier going down this. I don't know. And I would not be surprised if I pass out. That was insane. Okay, so we know we came that way. Do we want to go down there? Why not? It's like really cool. You feel like you're somewhere no one's ever been, even though someone's obviously been on this side. I'm actually lost right now. I'm totally lost. Okay, you know what? I think we got to go back up. Yeah, we got to turn around. By the way, in this game, it's much easier to turn around. But in real life, watching videos of them do this, that's the hardest part. So they always say you better have an exit plan. Okay, so where's that? Where are we? So we said... I'm officially lost? I think it was here that we came. Yes. This is where... Is this the aorta? I think it is. I can tell because it's getting... Yes. This is where... This is just... I'm getting a workout just pulling through here. Wow. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, gosh. Okay. Did we go... I'm just trying to get out of the birth canal. I think this is the birth canal. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm getting some claustrophobia too right now. Come on. Ugh. I can't get a grip. We're going to pass out. No, we're not. Okay. That's ridiculous. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back to the birth canal. Good. Okay. You have to be out of your mind to go up there. Okay, so we're back to where John Jones made his fateful mistake. So he went this way. I mean, when you just look at this, why on earth would you want to go in either of these areas? Okay, so it looks like another belly crawl coming up, and this is his final resting place right up here. It's just right up here. Oh my gosh. These belly crawls. Oh, there's tape, of course. Here we go. Let's listen to it.
We're approaching the site of John Jones' tragic accident. How did it happen? On November 24th, 2009, John Edward Jones became trapped in Nutty Putty Cave after entering a tight, uncharted passage that he mistakenly believed was part of the well-known birth canal route. Instead, he had crawled into an unmapped fissure that was far narrower than expected. The passage sloped downward and constricted as it went, forcing him headfirst into a nearly vertical section where his body became wedged. Entering headfirst made it nearly impossible for him to reverse or maneuver once he was stuck. Despite more than 24 hours of effort, rescuers were unable to free him as the combination of the cave's fragile geology, the limits of physics, and human endurance made extraction impossible. In the aftermath, authorities made the difficult decision to leave his body where it was and permanently seal the cave. rather than risk more lives in a recovery attempt.
So this is a part I definitely remember where they described, and this was very difficult to navigate. I think even a woman that was like 5'3" had some difficulty getting through here. They brought her up here, I think, initially before Brandon. I think she came up here. I don't think it was down here, or was it? I'm not sure if it was here. I think it wasn't, though. I don't think that's it. I think it was actually back here. I think, yeah, because they talked about it's either there, but I believe it's actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it was back here. Yes. So they came back here. Yeah, I think it was. Came back here, and I think it was down here. Yeah. Right down there where he got wedged. Yep. Pretty sure that was it. Oh, wow. Okay. But that's it. Yeah, that's where he got wedged, right in there. Yep. And you can imagine how difficult it was to get people back here. I mean, and they got pulleys down here. They had jackhammers. Just amazing rescue effort, but it just wasn't enough. And he was upside down. So if you're going to get stuck, of course, it's better to get stuck horizontally. You're going to live a lot longer. But he was upside down, and that means, he only had about, I think, 24 hours later, he died. And of course, your organs are going to be pushing up against each other. They weren't meant to be upside down. Oh, gosh. Pass out here. So this must have been the main area where they would meet. They could actually, I don't know if you can stand in here. No, you can't, but I imagine you could. It's hard to tell. But anyways, yeah, so this was his final resting place. And again, they closed it, and now it's just one gigantic tomb. And very sad, but probably his death saved someone else from dying. I'm sure somebody would have died. It's very dangerous back here, and that's what a lot of experts were saying. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. And we'll do more Cave Crave videos, more exploration. This game is just a ton of fun. How much did I get? 79%. You know what? I think if I went to that right, before we came into the birth canal, there's a left area. If I went to that area, I would probably get 100%, and I probably will do that. Okay, well, thanks again for watching.